Hello, Pisces. Oh, all right. Try number 1 didn't work. Try number 2 didn't work either. Interesting. Let's go. Their time is the charm. All right. Things come in threes. Ooh, that flew out. Okay. That was like a scream. Things come in threes. So if you look back, and I just looked at the timer, and it was at 33 seconds. Okay, Pisces. Interesting. So yeah, 1 second. Okay, so if you haven't read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, the book The Alchemist, I recommend it. 10 out of 10. But things come in threes. So if you look back, I promise you can find something that happened and it came in threes. Something bad. Some came in threes. So now, looking forward, the wheel is going to be changing and something good is going to happen in the threes, the same way as your bad things that happened in threes. Okay, that just got me a little excited, and I didn't know how else to explain it, so it just came out how it came out. All right, so I will be using the help from these 3 homies. What I love about these 3 homies is that they all talk about the same thing, but in a different way. Same, but different. So welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. So we're going to start with the Thoth Tarot. To me, this Thoth Tarot explains this tarot in a masculine way. This is the masculine version, the masculine version of the tarot deck. So say I have a tree right here, right? There's a person over here that's looking at the tree. Well, they see this side, but they're missing this side. So if we have a person over here looking at the tree, they're seeing this side, missing this side. There might be a little bit that overlaps over here. And so that could be what they see in common. And then the rest of it that they don't see is kind of what they're going to be disagreeing on. But it's a good thing to look at all the perspectives, because then you can triangulate a pretty whole tree just by looking at it from one side, and then understanding these 2 corners, you can kind of capture the whole thing. So this one would be the masculine side of it. To me, this one would be the feminine side of it. And this one would be looking at it right down the middle. So we are starting with the Princess of Swords. There's a court card. So the circle begins with the princess, goes to the prince, goes to the queen, then to the knight, which is the king in this deck. And the prince would be like the knight in other decks. But we go from the princess to the prince, to the queen, to the king, and then to complete the circle back to the princess. And this is talking about the swords suit. The swords is about the mind. Why sword? Because the mind is like handling a sword. You got to be careful and know how to manage handling the sword. the mind so that you don't hurt yourself or others around you. But if you're not in control of the sword or able to handle the sword or your mind, then, it's, you can hurt yourself and hurt people. So, Princess of Swords. All right, it took me a bit to get here. But this is the Earth of Air. So, Earth Princess, Air Swords. The Earth of Air. So the character of the princess is stern and revengeful. Her logic is destructive. She is firm and aggressive with great practical wisdom and subtlety in material things. She shows great cleverness and dexterity in the management of practical affairs, especially where they are of a controversial nature. She is very adroit in the settlement of controversies. Okay, cool. Rising out of a cloud of dust, Crowley's paradoxical Princess of Swords, the Earth of Air, appears like a beautiful avenging angel. Her head is crowned with the Medusa-headed helmet, which mercifully is turned away from our view, for if we were to gaze upon its awful face, we would surely be turned to stone. Turning things to stone, fixation of the volatile, or the materialization of idea, is just a part of the job description for Princess of Swords, however. Interesting, because the idea is the air part, the thing that came from the mind, and the materialization of earth, of bringing it into something you can see. Cool. Nice. So this is what's going on, Pisces. This is the focus of this reading. Materialization of idea. The Suit of Swords, also known as the Ruach, the intellect, is a wonderful aspect of our being because when we identify with the Ruach, we rise above and separate ourselves from our lower nature, the animal soul, which is called the Nefesh. So the Ruach is the intellect, the Nefesh is the animal soul. So I'll read that again because I think I was lost a little bit. The Suit of Swords is a wonderful aspect of our being because when we identify with the Ruach/intellect, we rise above and separate ourselves from our lower nature. Okay, so when you identify with the mind, you separate yourself from your animal soul, the body. However, when we identify with the Ruach, we also separate ourselves from the higher parts of our souls that represent greater realities and levels of consciousness than our Ruach is incapable of comprehending. Yeah, so when you put labels on everything, then you're really missing out on what the thing is. If you're just seeing it as a label, because, like back to the tree, if I think of a tree, every tree that came to mind from every person is going to look different than everybody else's tree. So sure, you can just call it tree, but it's not really describing the tree. It's just it's like trying to grab a hold onto the fish, but the fish is gonna be slipping. So each thing, you can put a label on it. I'm just gonna keep reading. All right. However, when we identify with the Ruach, we also separate ourselves from the higher parts of our souls that represent greater realities and level of consciousness than our Ruach is incapable of comprehending, which is why I had a hard time explaining. Right? Consequently, the Ruach does everything it can to keep its grasp on our identity. I literally was just embodying that. This is why the Eastern mystics warn us that the mind is a great enemy. It must be defeated in battle. Move on, huh? When the battle begins, the Ruach naturally sends its finest swordsman into the field, a warrior princess who manifests everything that is inherent yet hidden in her lord the Ace, a mighty champion of the mind, a Minerva, an Artemis, a Valkyrie. the Princess of Swords. Swirling clouds of gray-black dust and violent windbursts darken the heavens and almost completely dominate and obscure what once was the yellows and blues of this suit. Yeah, this is a beautiful card. This is a beautiful description. What a start to your reading, Pisces. Wow, what a ride that was. But the materialization of idea, yep, the idea that you have been hiding within. Nice, this own light. Nice. Cool. So we have the Hermit, which is a major arcana. So major arcanas are things that are happening to us. Life, the sun going up, the sun going down, things we can't control. The Hermit. This is number 9. So I want to look at what's before and after for this card for some reason. So before the Hermit is adjustment. Nice. Number 8, adjustment. And it's about balancing things out. Things that were unbalanced get adjusted to become balanced. And then we have the Hermit, which is going within. And after that we have Fortune. Nice. Which is the Wheel of Fortune, which is change, which is things are changing. The wheel keeps on moving. Time keeps on timing. Click, clock. The Hermit. This is the Magus of the voice of power. The Hebrew letter Yod, hand. This is in the Tree of Life. This is path 20, joining number 4 and number 6. So this is this path. So each of these spheres are things we gotta do over and over again, because nobody does things perfect the first time. But as soon as we figure it out, we get picked up and placed to the next one. So this picked up motion when we're moving to the next sphere, this is going from mercy to beauty, which is the Hermit. So interesting. Okay, so the 6 is like where our holy guardian angel lives, and you gotta go within to go to this sphere. So that's what this path is the action of going within to figure out who you are, why you want to do things, what idea, what is it you want. Wander alone, bearing the light and thy staff, and be the light so bright that no man seeth thee. Be not moved by aught without or within. Keep silence in all ways. This is the climax of the descent into matter. Oh, another nice. Look at this. Is literally look at climax of the descent into matter. Of the descent into matter. This is the same. Calm down. Calm down, Pisces. The realization, the materialization of ideas. Cool. I think that's all we need from this card. Thank you, Art. Nice, dude. Okay, that's, oh my god, the Master. This is literally the same guy, it looks like. The within, I just said the Holy Guardian Angel inside, huh? The materialization of ideas. Okay. I think this card is specific to this deck too. This would be like a major arcana, and it's taken me a while to find it again. That happened with the first card, so that's just something to note. Not sure what it means. Alright, I found it. The Master, page 47 and 46. Going backwards. The Master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflect his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes they find their own truth reflected, and in his silence they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. The Master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. Chaitaveti, Chaitaveti, said Gautama Buddha. Keep on moving. Keep on swimming. Until you find the light. Beyond mind, there is an awareness that is intrinsic, that is not given to you by the outside, and is not an idea, and there is no experiment up to now that has found any center in the brain which corresponds to awareness. The whole work of meditation is to make you aware of all that is mind and disidentify yourself from it. Okay, that's another thing that's been repeating again. That very separation is the greatest revolution that can happen to man. Now you can do and act on only that which makes you more joyous, fulfills you, gives you contentment, makes your life a work of art, a beauty. But this is possible only if the master in you is awake. Right now the master is fast asleep, and the mind, the servant, is playing the role of master. And the servant is not even your servant. The servant is created by the outside world, follows the outside world and its laws. Once your awareness becomes a flame, it burns up the whole slavery that the mind has created. There is no blissfulness more precious than freedom, than being a master of your own destiny. And by doing that, the way to be a master of your own destiny is no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. Beyond mind, something that is bigger, oh my God, than ourselves. Click number 6. It's talking about this part again. And the lovers. To me, this isn't someone else. Again, this is a major arcana, so another thing that is bigger than us. And the first lover, you can't forget about your first lover, and your first lover is yourself. The Two of Cups is about other people, but this lover card is about yourself. Can't forget about your first love. What we call love is really a whole spectrum of relating, reaching from the earth to the sky. At the most earthy level, love is sexual attraction. Many of us remain stuck there because our conditioning has burdened our sexuality with all kinds of expectations and repressions. Actually, the biggest problem with sexual love is that it never lasts. Only if we accept this fact can we then really celebrate it for what it is. Interesting. So because it never lasts, that's something earthly, but we're looking for something that's bigger than us. So only if we accept this fact can we then really celebrate it for what it is, welcome its happening, and say goodbye with gratitude when it's not. Then as we mature, we can begin to experience the love that exists beyond sexuality and honors the unique individuality of the other. We begin to understand that our partner often functions as a mirror, reflecting unseen aspects of our deeper self and supporting us to become whole. This love is based in freedom, not expectation or need. Its wings take us higher and higher towards the universal love that experiences all as one. So, in supporting us to become whole. It's not that the other one completes you. It's that two wholes come together to make something new. So take water, for example. Is hydrogen whole or is it missing parts? Hydrogen is a whole thing, and then oxygen is also a whole thing. But when hydrogen and oxygen come together, it makes water. A cool new thing that came from two whole things. So these three things are to be taken note of. I think that's all that was needed to be said. Ooh, 3 of Swords. Okay. So now we're in this. And we are talking about 3 of Swords. Before I get to the page, we are in the understanding of this. We are also above the abyss. And this is the third reflection of the one. Or the one, we have the reflection of, this is the mirror. Him looking in the mirror and then understanding that all along it's just been the one the whole time, even though there's 3 now. But it's just been the one the whole time. The one that began, the one in the mirror, and the one that understands that this one was just himself, but in the mirror. 3 of Swords. Yeah, when you understand that it's just been you hurting yourself this whole time, because the swords of the mind, so this isn't even other people hurting you, this is you hurting yourself. Like I said at the beginning, if you don't know how to handle your sword, your mind, you're going to hurt yourself or other people. So now, this is the understanding of, well, I don't want to keep hurting myself. Why would I do that? And when you understand that, then, it's kind of obvious. You just stop hurting yourself anymore. No more heartbreak, no more sorrow, separation, suffering, or grief. Focus on your strength. Pause to find clarity. Yeah, I think this is all that I need to read. Try to view the situation objectively and consider if it's really as bad as it seems. Perhaps it can teach you something. Interesting. Yeah, accepting the reality for what it is. So whatever is going on, instead of giving it a sad, sorrowful story, we're just gonna pause, see it exactly for what it is without the story. Get rid of the story, see it for what it is, and start materializing more of what you want instead of being stuck in here. 5 of Swords. Yeah, the fighting. And once again, we're in the Swords, so this isn't the 5 of Wands. So this is fighting others. This is fighting yourself. I'll read this. This is 5 of Swords. It's about bullying, deceit, hollow victory, intimidation, aggression. Aggression is suggested by the 5 of Swords. There may be conflict, but no matter who comes out as the perceived winner, everyone loses. Sharp and painful words linger even when the fight is over. Ego may be at play here. Some may feel that the most important thing is winning. Even if the fool wins, trust and dignity have been lost. Every battle has its price. Yeah, so why would I want to keep fighting? This is the turn the other cheek. Look at true cost. Apologize. If you regret saying something that was unfair, there's still the possibility of reconciliation. Ask for forgiveness. Choose your battles. All conflict takes its toll. What do you want to use your energy on? Yeah. You want to use your energy on these lovers, or do you want to use your energy on having to deal with these swords going through your heart? So yeah, you understand which battles are important to you and ultimately serve your beliefs in the long run, and which to walk away from. Yeah. It doesn't mean don't fight at all. Which ones are worth fighting are worth that energy that you know is gonna still deplete you, and which ones you just need to walk away from because there is no nothing to do there, especially if it's stuff that's out of your control. All right, let's see what the Office Oracle deck has for advice for us, because it ended. Look how excited we were, and then how that definitely calmed me down, huh? These two cards. But accepting things for what they are. All right, let's go. I think we're gonna do 3, and this one. 3s. Hey, things come in 3s. Let's see what the first one. Oh, interesting. All right. Number 19. This is now or never. TikTok. I said TikTok, did I not? I said that earlier. Something about a clock. Timing. There are moments where we can affect change. For a few seconds every decade, we exist. These are those seconds. Storm the castle. Come on. Tick. Tock. It's now or never. Tick. Tock. What say you? Okay, yep. All right, this makes sense. This is after all of this fighting. So in this moment of the Office is when Michael ate some pasta before going on a run, so he had trouble finishing. Look at that triumph. Michael has a triumph over the human body, but this goes with our story. Conquer that human body. Make it move. Go on a run, dance, lift weights, do yoga, do flonkerton, whatever. Yeah, any body movement you enjoy. Your body wants it right now. Yeah, I just went on a walk on my treadmill this morning, and I haven't done that in a long time, but that's something I want to start doing again. Yeah, whatever any body movement you enjoy. Then when your body is yelling at you that it can't move anymore, you make it move again. Just watch, because it can. And if you don't think it can, and put that mind away, stop fighting yourself and just watch your body do it. Michael was laying on the ground, exhausted, but when he couldn't keep going any longer, he got up and he still finished. This relates to anything in our lives, not just exercise. Our human bodies are wondrous machines. There's always a little bit of fuel left in the tank. Okay. It feels like something that you definitely needed to hear. Nice. Oh, see that smack? Did you hear that? Big changes fast. So coasting time is officially over. Big changes are coming, and they're coming at you fast. If you don't like them, this is called a door, and you can walk right through it. Yeah, and then Oscar says, these sound like good ideas. Why wouldn't we like them? Your changes are coming, and they're coming at you fast. That sounds like a great place to stop. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.
Te olvida con quién tú estás hablando.
Los Teles.